Hello guys, my name is Coolyoshi. Welcome back to my 100% walkthrough of Skyward Sword HD for Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we left off in the big Fire Sanctuary. Yes, I did remember this place. This is Fire Sanctuary. And in the last video, we got a new item and more or less collected other items along with it. And now we're kind of done with a lot of the other stuff, but there's not a lot of other things we can do here either. So, now we have done with this, we now, or at least collecting the major items, we now have to do nothing more than get the boss key, and then all the items we have will now be ours, which will be nice. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but one thing that is guaranteed is we will be beating the dungeon today, this time around. So, make it all the way back to the area that we kind of left off after saving the one guy. And doing so, we finally enter a new area at last. Which also means more of those jerk goblins probably to kill. I'm getting a bit tired, so if there are any, I'm just gonna try and skip them, unless they're required for a setup, which sure enough they are, so I think I might have to just do our stuff. Now these aren't just the regular Bokoblin archers too. You can see they actually have green on them, which means they're probably more accurate than the other Bokoblin archers that we faced. But I actually was kind of kidding around. The last time I dealt with these guys, it was literally the worst problem ever, and I did not like it one bit. So we're gonna make sure we kill them. Hey, we actually killed that guy before he can spit at us this time. I was worried that would actually happen multiple times, and did not hit this for the first time with the beetle. Oh well. Alright, get across here. Again, we do have to be more careful. The lava does actually hurt us, so we have to be careful. And as silly as this room looks, it is actually required, unfortunately. As far as we know, we cannot skip this room since it's required to move on. That I do actually remember, by the way. One of the few things I do remember. Alright, kill that guy with a Skyward Strike, and then beyond a couple of things, can't really do much until a lot of the stuff or area to get to the next spot is cleared. So first we're gonna head in here to try and find something over here. And we'll see there's another dude in here for some reason. So busy burning the midnight oil again, looking for loot. Oh, okay. I think this might actually be where we have to go for the item that I mentioned. Interestingly enough, he closed it, but then he also put us on the other side of us. Ah, green monster. I can't believe they're following me down here now. Guess I have to have some fun with him now. You're on Mogma turf now, Fiend. You may be scary, but as long as the way ahead of me is clear, you'll never catch me. So the idea is this is the minigame of stuckness. We basically have to force him to go a specific route out, very specifically, so he does not go up top or to the right. And eventually he'll get cornered and I'll have no choice but to do other stuff. We can make him go faster by moving to this area. And once we corner him, we can just catch him. No, you got me. Go on then, you monster villainy. Do your worst. Huh, I know those gobs. Ain't those for my brother's secret collection? He gave them. What? You know my brother? Aw, you're so all green. I thought you were a monster. Hey, don't get all angry. I thought you were one of them. Sorry, guy. Let me give you something good to make up for it. Hang on there for a second. Nar hidden chest. My goodness. Here you go. You know, those monsters seem to be looking for something on those cliffs at us. Hey, now wait too, you take care out of there. Don't want you to get skewered or nothing. Me, I'm heading back to the boss's place. I'll open up the door for you while I'm at it. See ya. And he opens that for free, basically, which is nice. And yeah, there it is. Told ya! There was a piece of heart in here as well. One of the hidden chests, because the game does not tell you through the actual map. You aren't able to see it. So you have to find this the long way. And just like before, landing into this thing will allow you to go on to the other side. Try as we might, we can't get over there. We'll just fall in the lava if we do that. This is the only way we can head through, therefore. This also reveals another interesting puzzle, which I'm actually still kind of confused what to do. So, first I'm going to save up here to get the save point, obviously. And then quickly use the beetle here to see what's going on. Actually, I think it might just straight up require a switch from somewhere else. Yeah. Making it a bit annoying, really. Yeah, unless I, like, find something else, there's not a good way to get this to flow at all, which is a bit annoying. Which means the only thing we can really do is jump a bomb. Looks like even that won't work. Hang on, I'm going to be right back for a minute. I got through a lot of it, but I'm going to be right back for a minute. I don't want to take too long, because this is a lot for after all. I want to go as fast as I can. Good afternoon, guys. Okay. Turns out I completely forgot stuff, and this is actually right in front of my face the entire time. That's a big oof, honestly. I honestly don't know why I forgot this, but Anyways, you're probably wondering why there's no lava flowing, and you can kind of see what's about to happen. In fact, yep, if you look there, that lava will kill us if we go to the side, which means, yep, for the second time, only second time now in the playthrough, third, I guess, second in this area, we have another instant death challenge. What I find annoying about it is it just stops you as soon as you do that. So anyways, we have to very quickly leave this area, otherwise the lava will consume us. We're gonna do obviously the fastest route, which goes through here and skips the loop on the up top, which I don't know why they would even want that stamina wheel up there. This one a bit more annoying because, again, if you do not select the right button, then you'll just die. It's not fun. Also, I'm not sure if we can even go down after that anyway, even if we wanted to. So, we'll quickly examine this just to confirm the safety save. But yeah, so that's the whole secret. We have to actually go down there and trigger the lock from ourselves. Because, yeah, sure enough, the thing we needed to do was underground, and then we actually get to properly go on the area. With that, we can actually move on with the game finally. Before I do anything else, though, I'm going to use a bomb to kill this guy, just so he doesn't get in the way. And then I'm going to quickly, actually, now that we're up here, we can just use the hook shots to trigger this. It's probably way faster than using a beetle, and probably what I should be doing more often, but sometimes I forget things. So, yeah, I guess I'll use that from now on, unless the beetle is absolutely required for something, which it was for quite a bit. So anyways, complete all of that takes us to this save point, which is mysteriously a sky one for some reason. I don't know why it allows us to return to the sky, but we're never going to use it, unfortunately, because there's not a lot we can do. The Bridge of Decision. Choose your path you believe in, move forward bravely. So in case you're wondering, you can't go left or right, so the only way down is through this lower area, and if you look down, you'll see two statues. One has its eyes open, one is sleeping. they mentioned the sleeping statue, so left is where we must go. We'll be forced into a dive, from which we'll then immediately do a jump, and if we then dive onto that spot, we'll see a bridge mysteriously appears. Get it wrong, and you will immediately take damage from the flaming lava, which is not fun. We literally need nothing here, nor do we need rupees, so we're just gonna completely skip that goddess wall altogether and go into this area where another mini boss fight occurs between the same enemies again. This time there's two of them. Okay, we got a quick kill on one of them. That helps out a little bit. Just as quick as the other fight was, though. Again, a little bit more annoying this time around, but still pretty easy to get. And we get 2 free Lissiful's Tails from them just because they drop so regularly. Don't really need to farm those much, really, let's be honest. Since they kind of just drop as you go. Alright. Oh, great. Is this going to be another lava trick? Maybe not. I don't know. Eh. So to get the actual key, we have to go over here, which is basically the same troll bats as before. If we get hit by one, we're basically just going to ignore them from there and run all the way up to the top. In fact, you can basically ignore them, which I just did because, well, they don't actually do as much damage compared to our enemies. So we're just going to go straight in and... oh boy, there's our big key chest, finally. I wonder how long it's taken to get to that area. We'll remember that zone as well because we'll have to get down there at some point. Is this the area I mentioned where I had to get there? Or, I don't know, I'm very confused. Anyways, we can't do much in this area, so first we have to hit this switch, which causes other switches to appear. Which, if we then hit a specific switch, torches will then light as we go underground. The goal is to hit them in the correct order to reveal them, so that all 5 of them are lit. In case you're wondering what the order is basically a set order based off of what the poles look like, the amount of L's on them, or I guess sides on them that you see. Like that one has 3, for example. That's the order you have to hit them in order to reveal the way forward. Until then, you won't be able to get the big key chest. We're gonna quickly run into all of these first 3. And then rush to the 4th to trigger that. And bam! Easy. Since you can look up ahead, it's not actually that bad. However, doing all that triggers yet another mini-boss fight. This, in my opinion, is the much more interesting boss fight, because now you have to battle underground, which makes it a bit more difficult. And yes, the worm is back. In case you didn't know, this is actually a mini-boss you have to face, and he's quite a bit tougher compared to other things we face, because one, he gets annoying as he gets later on, and there's not really a good way to do much stuff. However, if you make him run to a certain way, you can make him potentially run into a wall occasionally, which if he does, he will stun himself, allowing you to get a free hit on. Beyond that, though, we don't have much we can do. The simplest way I know of killing him is to just make him run into the wall multiple times, with which we can then stun him. As long as you run into his immediate area where he is, he will always charge regardless of what you do. Or you can wait for him to go on the side like that, and taking him out, we are finally able to escape the area. Unfortunately, we will be seeing more of them later, though that isn't actually a bad fight. It looks scary at first, but it's not actually that bad once you get the hang of it. You can easily escape him in this dungeon. Not even a bad fight. Anyways, doing that finally allows us to escape. And with it, we get our boss key. Big boy boss key again. Which is the mysterious crystals this time around. These boss keys are starting to get weirder by the minute. I just realized something. This area to the right side is actually our underground, so we're gonna have to go for this room a second time, sad to say. If we had just gone to, I think it's on the right here, we could have found a chest sooner. And, geez, that guy is really close. Go away, stupid keys. Nobody likes you. Just like before, you kind of have to find hits via a series of our items. In fact, you probably wouldn't have known this existed unless you checked the map. And sure enough, there's not a lot we can do here, so blow up the wall, and sure enough, there's nothing there anyway. What's strange is it is on the right spot, but it's not anything we can get, and I don't know why it's like that, but ugh. I need to remember what it looks like, because I think I may have to actually go up a little floor or two before I can actually bomb it properly, if you know what I mean. In fact, it might straight up be here instead. Yeah, I just noticed there's this faint little patch hanging off to the left that isn't supposed to be here. Maybe that's a sign of things to come? Okay, no, it's the same, unfortunately. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I found it. It was just hidden even more awkwardly. Yet another one of the most awkwardly hidden chests in the entire game here. To go all the way to the secret, basically untouched area to get it. And because we already got a lot of stuff, it's just going to be another evil crystal. Nothing really useful. I think these chests are actually where you're intended to get a lot of the evil crystals, but again, we could just farm them off the clean cut minigame, so most of them are actually very pointless. I got them this time. Basically perfect stamina management there. Let's go back into this room. Now that we've gotten that, we can say we've officially cleared the full dungeon, but now we enter one of arguably my least favorite fights in the game. Like, if you fought Rankin, what is his name? The Scorpion was tough, or the Squid before that was tough. This guy is on a whole nother level. He's actually a pretty difficult boss. We definitely want to save before him. Not only that, but the actual look of the actual big key is even weirder than before, so it's not going to be easy to complete this, I'm not going to lie, but... Okay, well, from the looks of it, it looks just like a key, so if we can make it shaped like a key, then we can finish it. So we need to first find the thing that makes it look like a key, which... Oh, I actually already found it, so we have to do that and then look like that. Okay, there we go. Honestly, that's the one where you basically just have to look at the shape. Thankfully, the key shape was rather easy to get, so we were able to deal with that, and now we enter in the actual boss. So what is this boss I've been talking about, honestly? What do you think it is? Leave a comment if you want to guess. Gets left behind us as per usual. Oh, yeah, I knew it. It's none other than Girium himself. He's back. He said he would be back, and here he is. Oh, hello there, Yoshi. I see you're still among the living. Fancy meeting you here. We seem to bump into each other time and time again. Oh, it's no coincidence, no. Oh, it is that you and I, we're bound by a thread of fate. What's that mean? Look at these old drawings. Oh, what's that? Until I found these, I was upset about the little stunt that the goddess's guard dog pulled at the gate of time. What was that twig's name again? Impa? Well, never mind that, because these drawings suggest the existence of a second gate of time. The news has just filled my heart with rainbows. I've been a busy boy, searching here and there for another gate of time. Oh, it's gonna be right behind me. And yet, I couldn't even find a single clue. Since I know I could be honest with you, I admit I got a little sulky. It was frowns all around. This thought of never getting my hands on that darling young girl again was, well, more than I could bear. But then I found this place. The prospect of a second gate of time has made me positively giggly. That girl, your adorable old friend, she'll be instrumental in bringing about the revival of my master. If I feared she was now quite beyond my reach, I despair no longer. But before we talk any further on this subject, there's still the outstanding member of your punishment, Yoshi. Do you remember when I told you the next time we meet, I'd make your ears bleed from the sound of your own schemes? Well, I've been thinking, perhaps corporal punishment is a touch harsh. I might be willing to forgive and forget if you'll strike a deal. All I ask is you tell me where I can find the other gate of time. That's not too much to ask, I say. And don't play coy with me. I know that you know, so why not let me in on the fun? He's not talking, obviously. Harsh behavior. A mysterious boy like you needs to be dealt with firmly. I must warn you, I won't go easy on you this time. And sure enough, he will hold true to his word. Lovely, aren't they? You'll find the supple skin of my arms tougher than any armor. Doesn't their shape just leave you breathless? Behold! Such beauty, such a pure form, such an exquisite physique, such stunning features. Yes, I pretty much got it all, though there is one teensy thing I lack. Namely, mercy. Come to me, Yoshi. You and I are bound by the thread of fate, destined to fight. Huh? So come close, Yoshi. Meet me in battle, and the thread of the fate that binds us will be soaked in crimson with your blood. My goodness, he is pretty awkward. Okay, so this time he's gonna be a bit more awkward. For one, he will actually catch your sword a bit more. Not only that, but it's really easy for him to kind of just do other stuff. So what we're gonna first do is purposely let him grab us. Oh, except, okay. Now, in case you're wondering, if you try and do the sword spinny thing, it's just where you wait for him to stop moving his hands, he'll often kind of just move around multiple times. So, when you see that, you'll have no choice but to make him grab you, and then after you do it a couple of times, eventually he will stop. Only when he stops can you deliver a hit on him. The first few hits are pretty free, though. And also, if you try and go very quickly, you won't be able to get a hit at all. So, you're pretty much forced to do the loop. But when he stops, that's when you want to get hits on him. Thankfully, we went through that first phase a lot quicker this time, since we had more stuff. But anyways, he draws his swords again. This time, he's much more aggressive. Nearly twice as aggressive this time. Just like before, we kind of just want to get in his face and slash. It's much easier if we do other stuff. Oh, and sometimes he will use attacks at you again. Just like before, though, you can reflect them by swinging them at the right time. If he goes up in the ground, you basically want to do attacks to him. This is the free attack, by the way. Each time he does that, you can get free hits on him. That was a lot of hits despite not blocking his attack. So, whatever that was, we did good damage to him at least. Not really any reason to, like, avoid him. It's better to just go in him. just like you did before. Oh, and also, you can block the... He will start doing the spin-it strike, or whatever. I'm gonna pause for a second. You saw him use some of those fiends in unusual patterns. The one that looks up, if you do a slash forward, that'll hit him back. Or if he surrounds you with them, you have to do a spin attack. Beyond that, though, basically the same fight as before, except he's way more aggressive this time around. In fact, you hardly can't really block him at all this time around. So you have no choice but to basically go as aggressive as you possibly can. And just block whatever attacks comes to his way. Your only really freebie is when he does that. Thankfully, we got him. Enough of this foolishness. I am Giriham, Demon Lord. It shouldn't matter how powerful your sword is, you are still nothing. Not just a human child, and yet you prevail. You filthy scamp, you awakened a wrath that'll burn for eons. I swear to you, whatever it takes, I'll drag you into an eternity of torment. And he vanishes before we can do anything. Thankfully, we did beat him without fairies, so good on us, I guess. Bam. Did it. One of the more annoying fights, in my opinion. Definitely took a lot of damage, as there's not a good way to avoid lots of stuff. But our shield kind of carried us through a lot of it, though. At the same time, we didn't really get any true blocks, so we're still not aware of what to do. But yeah, his first phase is definitely a lot more annoying this time around. Like I said, the easiest way to deal with it is to just wait until his arms stop moving. And the first couple of times he actually stops rather quickly, so you can usually get him very quickly, but sometimes he moves a bit more. Alright, this gives us Din's Fire, the final fire of the 3 Sacred Flames, which actually upgrades our sword even further, and much more importantly, makes it much better this time. Alright. So we get to see this cutscene again. The flames of Din imbue your sword, aid with a secret white light that demons revile. And sure enough, getting all of the secret flames changes our blade from the regular blade, or whatever crap it was called, to the Master Sword. Yes, this is the Master Sword, the Blade of Evil's Bane. Kind of an unusual way to attain it. Don't have to pull it from a pedestal this time. We kind of just get it by upgrading the Goddess's Sword 3 times, and this also gives us the final mark of the Triforce. Maybe now something will happen? Alright, fine, what do you have to say? Master, now that it has been tempered by the last of the Sacred Flames, your blade has finally revealed its true form. You now hold the Master Sword. Yep, I was right. With this sword's great power, you can awaken the gate of time within the sealed temple. I recommend you make your way to his location. Which we're actually going to do a lot more sooner this time around, but we will have to do error problems as well. But first, let's actually do that. Let's return to the sky. And get ready, because we're about to go into yet another boss fight, which is really, really awkward that we get sent into this right away. But again, don't really want to do extras today in this video, so we're just gonna try and do a lot of storyline progression. Only until I get most of the Son of Hero will I do all my progression. Just because now I have a lot of hearts, I'm not as worried about some of the fights, especially in easy mode, because they're pretty much free. I was considering doing hero mode, but considering I have not done hero mode, that would probably be a bad idea. Hero mode only for people who literally play this game all day, basically. That being said, because of other tricks, it is probably one of the easier hero modes to complete. In fact, I think some of the other ones are much more difficult. Anyways, we need to go behind the temple here. It's the closest spot we can go that will get us into the temple. And then we're going to skip this save point and go straight into the temple. Strangely, there are no more enemies here. Instead, we get other stuff, and and Gorkles are walking around here. He will give us something, but in order to actually get it, we have to defeat something else instead. So... Ah, your sword! There can be no doubt. The sacred flames have purified this blade. Well done, Yoshi. That sword holds tremendous power. That power is a sacred force. It is a divine power left to us by the gods of old. The same power that is spoken of in the Ballad of Goddess. To look upon you is to see that same great power now flowing through you and the sword you carry. Come, Yoshi, you must now open the gate of time. Now that the sacred force dwells within your blade, strike the gate of time with a skyward strike and it'll surely awaken. Climb above a pedestal and show you your gate, your sword's power. As we try and do it, that actually triggers the seal. No, I feel the seer is given away once again. That terrible beast is awakening even as we speak. Likely that the monster reacted to the sacred power given off by your sword. I wish it had not happened, but there was no other way to open the gates, so it goes. Yoshi, you must imprison the beast once again. Alright, bring it on. That's what I've been ready for. It's time to bring on my new toy. Trust me, that flabby bag of teeth doesn't stand a chance. Waiting for, I'm heading out there. So now Goose finally gets to be the hero he deserves to be. So remember Goose from like the later game? Well, now he's gonna be doing the most of the work. And of course, now that we're here, we're gonna drop a save very quickly. We'll also drop another save afterwards, which will then lead into our first true reset that I want to make sure I get. Hey, Yoshi. Ooh, what are you doing? Try not to drool on your shirt as you stare at this amazing super weapon I've been working on. I call it the Gruesinator. Yep, this is the origin of the Gruesinator. Remember that thing from Hyrule Warriors that we used to take down the prison? Yeah, we get to use it on him here too. Leaves you speechless, doesn't it? That's only natural. You wouldn't believe how much time I put into building this beauty. Here, check it out. First, I got all the fences cutting area out of the way. Then I laid down the whales for her to run on, all by myself, of course. I don't know what came over me. I had no clue I had the talent to make something like this, you know. Anyway, you just tell me where you want to place your shots, and I'll put a hurting on that ugly monster. Ooh. I don't care how beefy you are bound to stumble for a few moments after taking one of my big bombs to the body. Hang on, though. That monster showed up a bit sooner than I was expecting. There are a few final adjustments I gotta make before she can move on the rails I put down. I'll call out to you when she's ready. Till then, do whatever you can to hold off the beast. Okay. And running back down to the area, yes, triggers our boy, the imprisoned, to come back. He's gonna look a lot more different this time. Definitely not like his Hyrule Warriors counterpart. At first, he'll come out kind of the same, but then you'll see all those things on the sides. Yep, he now has claws now. Oh boy. In case it didn't get any creepier, it did. This is Imprisoned 2, or Fight 2 of the Imprisoned. This time around, he's much more obnoxious. In fact, those blocks, he will always have shockwaves now, so they are not easy yet. Look at that! Seems our ugly friend grew itself a pair of hands. Great timing. I hope it knows how to catch because my scene has a mean right arm. When she's all loaded up, I'll let you know. Until then, do what you need to stop it. Ugh. Almost got some hits on there. Now, we do want to get a couple of cheap hits on this while we can, but for the most part, we're waiting until a specific cycle appears, from which we can then trigger an animation, which will cause it to attempt to climb up here. If we then land this bomb thing we're about to throw in the face, he'll then be able to do stuff. Hey Yoshi, the machine's all loaded and ready to stash. If that family set cheap tries to climb up the wall, I can blast it off of here with a bomb. When you want some backup from me, just send a single with X. Alright, it's time for Goose to explode into action. Once you finish aiming, press ZR to launch a bomb. If it hits, you'll stun the scaly sucker. If you forget the controls, press anytime you're in control of the Goose in the air to learn the basic actions. Ha, she packs a mean punch, didn't you? I tell you, I was in love the first time I pulled this ever. So that really back up with another bomb, so keep being on Big Ugly till I give you the single. Also, I kind of skipped that. During that entire thing, he actually is kind of vulnerable, so if you kind of just attack your toes fast enough, you can actually skip him the first time. However, this time around, we can't necessarily get back the same way as before. This time we'll have to go from the back, hit him twice from the up, and then that kills him. However, now that we've hit him a couple of times, and Groose is here, we can actually do a new strategy that we cannot do before. In fact, I need to remember this because if we don't do this properly, then it'll be pretty awkward. Remember that thing I mentioned with the shockwave and everything? Well, yeah, as the imprisoned starts moving faster and more aggressive, he will also become so aggressive that you can't really hit his toes properly. So instead, you can do a strategy where you basically use Groose to attack the prison, and if your attack lands, that'll stun him for a few moments, during which you can then jump onto his face directly, pull this, and then you can actually slap him from the other side. You're supposed to not be able to do this, but if you hit his thing in multiple times, yes, that triggers him to die a bit earlier than usual, which is nice. That is basically the speed strategy you can now do. You can only do this on Prison 2 and 3. Prison 1, you don't have to, so you can't actually do that. So I recommend going up 2 levels here. And then you basically want to just wait for the beast to get up. At some point, he will become more difficult to hit. So it will get a lot more tighter. That being said, it'll definitely easier than doing other stuff. I think the way the game wants you to beat it is to hit the toes again after first stumming him a couple of times, but if you go just right, you can actually just jump on him each of the times. So again, we're gonna go on here. And he will try and buck us off a couple of times, but if we're fast enough, we can just get what's known as a quick hit on him, skipping killing the toes altogether, and since we did that 2 times in a row successfully, we defeated him, just like that. I like how after all of that, he's even easier this time around, when you know the speed strategies, because all you have to do is that, and yeah, he's not even as scary this time around. Only the first phase is really that bad, and even that's still pretty decently quick. That being said, his 3rd time is much more trollier. Yeah, he's probably gonna break out again, if you know what I mean. Not if that's a swear or anything, though probably a lot of you have already played this game. Now, Yoshi, strike the Sealing Spike with a Skyward Strike and restore the seal quickly. We pretty much did that as fast as we possibly could, which was really nice. Alright. And We have to do more slashes this time around. Pretty easy to get the hang of, though. And the seal is restored yet again. Nice work there, Yoshi. Of course, you couldn't have done it without me, but no need to thank Goose. I know I saved your tail. Now let's get that gate time feed up and running. I'll go on ahead. Let's actually check where I am on the map. I'm about to the right. I'll do it twice just to make sure. Okay, that's where I am. Alright, so I'm going to go up here and hit this spot first. Then hit this other spot after that. Whoa. And then go over to the right here. We need to remember this route because we will have to do it very specifically at some point. So, definitely gotta remember that, otherwise it might screw us over later. So, remember that route, boys, if you want to take out the later boss battle more easily. Because otherwise you're gonna have a bad day. It seems you were successful in imprisoning the monster again. Okay. You have my thanks, Yoshi. As you do, Goose. I do not wish to dwell on may have happened if you two hadn't been here. You give me too much credit, Granny. You are the one who got me to stop feeling sorry for myself and put my energy into doing what I could help. I did what was necessary to get you to realize your full potential. Yoshi, you must wonder just what it is you've been fighting out in that great pit. There is much I can tell you, but suffice to say, the root is the root of all the evil we face. When you pass through the gate of time, you shall learn more. We may seal it and reseal it into its prison a thousand times, but it'll always shatter the bonds that will confine it, such its awesome power. Stray it out of the source, or we'll suffer the same fate again and again. There's no time to lose. Hit the gate with a skyward strike. Come on already. Charge that sword of yours with the sacred force stuff, Granny Stahia, and zap that gate of time. Right, Granny? Indeed. Now, Yoshi, go. Go to the gate. Jeez, we did like an up slash with it. It's like swag, even though I didn't mean to. But that works, I guess. So, all of this nonsense we do with our sword causes the second gate of time to then be opened, from which we can actually go through. Goose nearly falls over in that entire thing for some reason. We don't know why. Just like that, the Gate of Time is finally revealed to us. Boy, it is pretty massive from the looks of it. There we go. There's our Gate of Time. And now we're supposed to go to it to the past, right? Do not fear it. This is what we have waited for. At long last, the gate has been reactivated. Lying before you is a path that transcends the flow of time. It is the portal to the past, to the very place where Zelda now waits. Go bravely, Yoshi. If everything is as I suspect, the reunion with Zelda you fought so hard for lies beyond the gate. Nah, don't worry about me. I'm just gonna hang back here, Yoshi. That stupid monster doesn't know when to quit, and Granny here keeps yapping on about that. We never know when it might bust free again. Someone's gotta stick around and guard the place. Might as well be me. Besides, if I'm not here, who's gonna look out for the old girl? And you know what? Nah, forget about it. Alright. When you see Zelda, tell her I said what's up. Okay, then. Whatever you say, Groose. I tell you, man, some of these cutscenes, they add up after a while. This is also a pretty long run anyways, even if you were to speedrun it. I saw a speedrun on this. It's apparently 8 hours long just to do the regular 100%, which is without hero mode. In hero mode, you get a couple of extra effects that make it go way quicker. But until then, it's kind of tough. It's not, and that's not including the fact that, of course, you can skip cutscenes in both modes, which make it way quicker by default, because being able to skip everything makes it easier. We travel through the gate of time and into the past from which we talked to Impa. At last I've been accepted, Yoshi. You are doubtlessly overwhelmed, so I will explain things simply as I can. This is the Temple of Hylia, though it'll come to be known as the Sealed Temple somewhere in the future. You stand in the past, ages before your own time. Here the goddess Hylia had only just sealed away their eyes, and little time has passed since they sent the outcropping of rock into the sky that would one day become Skyward. It's true to its name. You have passed through the gate of time to error in the distant past. You have many questions, but for now you must proceed back through the great doors behind you. It is there that the person you've risked your life and blood to defend waits for you. I'll just dash over here. Go ahead and show you the next cutscene. This is a walkthrough, yes, so we may as well show all the cutscenes. You've come so far, Yoshi. I'm glad you made it. I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We've traveled very far from home to the distant past. Sarah, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and Demon King known as Demise have not yet healed. Fairy tales about that war we've growing up in Skyward, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learned the whole story. Let me try to explain. The old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They call it the Triforce. It's to make the world his own. Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both of them and the Triforce into the slice of earth she cut away from the land. This filling lot became the new home of our people. In time it became to be known as Skyloft. After a long and fierce battle, the godless Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. Soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold on against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. After Demon King were to free himself, that would mean the end of the world for all beings on this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, he has devised two separate plans and set them both into motion. Ooh. I guess I'm confused what's happening. First, she created Fi. She made the spirit that was Sinya's sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul into the body of a mortal. She made the sacrifice, as you likely guessed, so that supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For a while, the supreme power of the Triforce was created by gods, all of its power and never be wielded with one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. You probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Yoshi? You are the chosen hero, and I, Zelda, I am the goddess reborn as immortal. Yeah, psych, she's actually an immortal goddess, actually. Well, not anymore. The day of the ceremony, Giri Amsterdale tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I have to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statues located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here to the past. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. City of State, he's more than capable of devouring the sun if we allow him to do what he desires. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him at any cost. That's why I intend to remain here at this time and place, to sustain the seal as best I can. So I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in our own time. I must maintain the seal that I created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now this is my purpose. Actually, I guess created Fi in the Great Blade she's a part of for very specific reasons. The task of standing against demise in the monster's form he now assumes rests solely on your shoulders. Back in your old time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now. I can't thank you enough for that, Yoshi. During your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the child set before you, the goddess, you found true courage. Not the qualities reside in you. You are worthy of wielding the power of the old gods left behind for your kind. You can claim the Triforce. I and Tiro, you have endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Travels you have found wisdom, power, and courage. For this I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land. The mark you see up on your back of the hand is proof that you are the hero legend, and within you dwells sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Yoshi. Draw your sword. And sure enough, we get the true Master Sword. So that first one was actually a fake. Now we have the true Master Sword. The goddess expressed your blade, and the Master Sword that at last achieved its ultimate form. The sword is now imbued with the mythical power to drive back villains, and only Yoshi can wield it. Yeah, Link is doing the best he can. Yoshi, rather. Before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is a symbol of the greatest power in this world. If you can attain the actual Triforce, we would have the power to vanquish demise once and all. The problem is, among the countless souls in the world, only select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. The gods created the Triforce, and yet they specifically designed so that their own kind could never use its power. I think that might have been their way of giving hope to all of the mortal beings of this land, which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylian needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Yoshi. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you can wield that supreme power. And so I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt. I used you. Oh, goodness. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you all into all this, Yoshi. You have to understand, this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well-intentioned and true, but if it does, it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here in this time, deep in sleep, for thousands of years. Oh. What you just said sounds bad. Yoshi, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in this. Until my memories of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my time, days, hanging out around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. While it's true that I am Hylian reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm gonna ask you a favor, Sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I'd always be the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time, when all of this is over, will you come to wake me up? Of course, I promise. Seems like it doesn't matter what you say, because he kind of just gets imprisoned. By the way, this looks strangely familiar. In fact, if you played Ocarina of Time, this is exactly how Zelda gets trapped in that game by Ganondorf, hint hint. In fact, it actually looks pretty similar to that, though the cover may have changed. It's still basically the same thing. Except she makes herself get trapped instead. Basically trapping herself. Which I find unusual. My goodness. Honestly, by the way, this is a long cutscene. Now I can see why the cutscenes of this game are so long. Like, more than half of this game is just in cutscenes. And sometimes it gets really obnoxious dealing with them all. Like, I even said I had, like, a piece of heart I wanted to get, but then... Anyways, we're not gonna actually go to any of these spots. We could talk to Impa again, but she doesn't have anything to say, so instead we're gonna skip a bit of this, just so we can get done with the video, and head back to the actual world, in which our next part will now begin. So you've returned. Alright. Then you know everything. On the other side of that gate, Zelda waits, suspended in a sleep without end, but do not despair, for she is still alive and well. True to legend, the Triforce is the one unfeigned with the power to vanquish Demise. It is thought to have been hidden within Skyloft by the godless. Sadly, that is all we know of where it rests. All other clues to its whereabouts have been lost to the ages. And she will likely come to the same conclusion, but I will spell it out just the same. To finding the Triforce must be in Skyloft. Good now, Yoshi. Find the Triforce. Whoa! Whoa there! Hold up. Yoshi, there's something I gotta tell you. Well, what you're saying about it. So Zelda, how's she holding up? Was she okay when you saw her? Actually... That's terrible. It's gotta be so hard for the poor girl. But you're going to do something about this mess, right? Yoshi, I've made up my mind. I'm not going back. I'm staying right here with Granny. Don't look so bun up. Do I look sad? Nah, I'm doing what I want to do. I don't know how to explain it. I got this feeling in my belly that there's work to be done here. Someone's gotta watch that big ugly monster, and someone's gotta make sure Granny's doing alright. It ain't as action-packed as what you're doing, but maybe this is my destiny. Know what I mean? Besides, it's not so bad here. Living up in the sky was okay, I guess. Don't you just love the way it smells down here? What? That's not weird to say. Check it out. Son and Granny have brought life to this land here. I bet even the weakest sapling could grow into one Instead of a tree and soil like this, it'd brighten up this place a little too. I mean, sure, it'd take a few years to grow, but as far as I'm concerned, I got nothing in time. It's weird to say that out loud, but that's just how I feel right now. We have to remember that, by the way, for later, because we'll have to actually use that. That'll come into play later. So yeah, you know, when you get back to Skyloft, do me a favor and let the people know I'm doing okay down here. Colin and Switch might get a little emotional since they look up to me, but you tell them I'm happy, okay? Thanks, Yoshi. So yeah, lots more dialogue, and finally, we're done with this. I like how we defeated Girium only like supposedly 30 minutes or so ago, and because of all the cutscenes, it just takes really long to get through all this. I just don't know why. In fact, I think if you go for the actual movie of this game, like the Fate movie or whatever, I think it's like about almost 10 hours long. That just proves how long it is, like, before you get actual gameplay. My gosh, it's really silly, but that is what it is. Okay, well, we're definitely done with this now. If you guys enjoyed, rate, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video where we'll do some more main storyline objectives, and then eventually we'll try to actually 100% back this game. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Bye.